I am a lawyer, have been appearing for Adani Group in several cases. So I have gone through this indictment by the US court running into some 54 pages. My assessment is, and it is clear, that there are 5 charges or 5 counts. It is very important to note that count 1 and count 5 are more important than the others, but neither in count 1 nor in count 5 is Mr. Adani or his nephew charged. This is like a charge sheet. It charges individuals for doing specific acts. It is like a charge sheet under the Indian penal laws that you charge somebody with a particular act, whether it is bribery, whether it is corruption, whether it is robbery, whether it's murder. So count number 1, contained in paras 124 onwards of the indictment, is against certain other persons minus the 2 Adanis. It includes some of their officers and 1 foreign person. That is the conspiracy to violate the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. It is called FCPA. It is somewhat similar to the Prevention of Corruption Act in India. So the first allegation is that there is a conspiracy to violate the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act framed by the US Parliament. In that, the Adanis are not named, their officers may be named. That's 1. Then there are 2 or 3 other counts relating to securities and bonds. In those 3 counts, the Adanis and others are named. In the last count, which is a very important count, is a count relating to obstruction of justice. In that count, namely count number 5, the Adanis are not named, but their officers are named. So it is, maybe I made a mistake in count number 5. I made a mistake. In count number 5, obstruction of justice, the Adanis are not named, their officers are not named, but certain other people are named, including a foreign party. But be that as it may, the Adanis and others will respond to this charge sheet in the manner that they desire. I have not seen their responses. They will also respond to the stock exchanges in the manner that they desire. I have not seen or vetted any of these exchanges. These are my personal views which I have mentioned after having a look at this charge sheet. In the end, I would like to say something which has been troubling me, that when you look at a charge sheet, you have to be specific to say that so-and-so has done such and such act, so-and-so has bribed certain individuals. Because this is a charge sheet alleging that these people, including Adanis, have bribed Indian officials in Indian entities relating to supply and purchase of power. But I do not find a single name or a single detail in the charge sheet as to who has been bribed, in what manner has he been bribed, and the official belongs to such and such department. This charge sheet is completely silent. I don't know how one can respond to these kind of charge sheets, but I'm sure the Adanis will take legal opinion, including from American lawyers, etc. One more thing I may add, I think I made a mistake. It is correct that in count 1 and count 5, the Adanis are not named, but several other persons are named. Whether they are connected with Mr. Adani or not, they will respond. But I just wanted to clear the air that the Adanis are not named in count 1, violation of the Foreign Corrupt Practice Act, or count 5, relating to obstruction of justice. Because I saw in the media that as if they have been named or charged in these two counts also. That is what I wanted to say. ये मैंने इंडाइटमेंट पढ़ा, ये चार्जशीट की तौर से है, इसमें 5 चार्जेस हैं। पहला चार्ज और 5वां चार्ज इंपॉर्टेंट है। पहला चार्ज है कि अमेरिका का कानून, जो करप्शन का कानून है, करप्शन विदेश का कानून, अमेरिका में नहीं बाहर, उस चार्ज में कई लोगों का नाम है, लेकिन ना अडानी का नाम है ना उनके नेफ्यू का नाम है। चार्ज नंबर 5 में जो चार्ज है कि न्याय के रास्ते में बाधा डालना, ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन ऑफ जस्टिस, जो एक सीरियस ऑफेंस हो सकता है, उसमें भी ना मिस्टर अडानी का नाम है ना उनके भांजे का नाम है। ये मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूं कि मेरी अपनी राय है, ये है, ये पढ़ने के बाद, और ये क्लियर करने के लिए, क्योंकि मीडिया में मैंने देखा कि ये छप रहा है कि अडानी के खिलाफ दोनों चार्ज हैं, न्याय के रास्ते में बाधा डालना और करप्शन का चार्ज जो पहला काउंट है वो नहीं है। ये मेरी पर्सनल राय है। अडानी ग्रुप क्या इसका जवाब देगा वो अपने लीगल सलाहकारों से करेगा जो अमेरिका में होंगे, या क्या टिप्पणी अडानी ग्रुप करेगा वो उसकी मर्जी है। ये मेरी पर्सनल राय है और ना इसमें अडानी का कुछ कंट्रीब्यूशन है, ना उनकी कोई ये राय है। थैंक यू सर। Questions? Can we speak to you on a one-on-one? Just 1 or 2 minutes.
Sure. Thank you so much. Manoj? All right, we just heard what Mukul Rohatgi had to say, and these are about the charges that were leveled against Adani, and now Adani Green has issued a statement. Adani counsel Mukul Rohatgi, beg your pardon, just briefed the media. Let's just quickly take you through those important points. What he did state is that with the assessment of 5 charges or counts, it's important to note that count 1 and 5 are more important than the others. But he's gone on to state that count number 1 is against other people minus the Adanis. So clearly that's a big development. He's also said, quoting the same, that when you look at the charge sheet, you have to be specific to put allegations on someone. This charge sheet says that Adani has bribed. However, I don't find any name of the person who has been bribed, and I don't know how one can respond to the kind of charge sheets. Moreover, he's also gone on to talk about the allegations that are leveled, and Mukul Rohatgi said the first allegation is that there is a conspiracy to violate the FCPA, and that's why he has put that into context as to what he makes of the charge sheet. But he's gone on to deny those charges by saying that Adani not named for violation of Foreign Corruption Act. He's also said that Gautam Adani and nephew named in the last count, and Rohatgi said named only for obstruction of justice, and Rohatgi also said only Adani officers have been named. So clearly big development as far as this is concerned. More importantly, with the counsel of Adani addressing those particular allegations that was leveled. Let's just put that quickly once again into a focus as to what exactly he made of that particular count, because initially when he was talking about the assessment of those allegations that were put forth. He said there are 5 charges or counts, and important to note that is that out of all those 5 that have been leveled, 1 and 5 were more important than the others, but in neither 1 or 5, Adani or nephew were charged. All right, so that is what we're picking up at the moment in terms of what Mukul Rohatgi did state, where he said that the first allegation is that there's a conspiracy to violate the FCPA. More importantly, Gautam Adani and nephew named in last count, and Rohatgi said named only for obstruction of justice. And only Adani officers have been named, and said Adani not named for violation of Foreign Corrupt Act. I'm given to understand that Advocate P.R. Ramesh is joining me. Mr. Ramesh, thank you very much for joining us here this morning on Mirror Now. What do you make of what has been stated, and more importantly, just for our viewers to also better understand that quick takeaway in terms of now with what was put into context with these charges and what has been stated in this particular statement that's just been out by the council?
Yeah, morning. See, we are talking of a document called as an indictment, which was released on 24th October 2024. Okay. See, now, there have been a lot of charges, and there are different counts, See, like typically in India, what happens is when CBI makes a charge, so they make charge under the Penal Code and under the Prevention of Corruption Act, different sections they put it on. So now, if you see, I've just seen this after this media release by to the stock exchanges by the company. I just saw that, and what I find is that in para 125, which is actually the charging section under the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act in that indictment, we don't find the name of Mr. Gautam Adani or Saga Adani and all. So the whole issue is that they have charged certain other people, and then there are a lot of allegations against the Adani, saying these are all factual allegations you do, and they finally charge somebody else saying you guys actually you conspired with Mr. Adani to do this and that and all. So there is in the United States there is no charge under the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. I think that is what is now they have come out to clarify.
Right, Mr. Ramesh, in fact, as you pointed out, also with the assessment and charges as to what one makes of it, with the aspect of how you were talking about the law differing between the two nations, what would this essentially mean now? If you could help us draw more perspective on that.
No, typically, I think like here, like in India also, the same process is followed. You see, first somebody will file a complaint or what you call as a FIR, and then the police or the CBI will do investigation, and then you file a charge sheet in the court. This is typically like a charge sheet. So now, after this, these people are called as defendants, and they will have to defend their case. This is not a final conclusion that they've done something guilty or they've committed some violation. This is an allegation that certain violations have been committed in the US, and particularly under the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, the allegation is against somebody else. Now, if you really see this, the whole of these factual allegations, the factual allegations are that people conspired, like Indian officials, Indian
company at all.
No, Adanis are not mentioned in count number 1 and 5, I have told you. They are mentioned in 2, 3 and 4. But I have also told you that the names of the alleged conspirators or bribe takers, or the details of the bribe or the amounts or the companies to which they belong, they are not mentioned at all.
Sir, what would be the further legal recourse for
that, madam,
and also the stocks have also fallen?
Ask Mr. Adani, I cannot say what will be. They will engage American lawyers and they will respond.
That was Mukul Rohatgi speaking exclusively to Times Now. Isha.
All right. That was my colleague Isha, of course, getting us that exclusive with Mukul Rohatgi. But in terms of the fact that what happens next is something that has to be mulled is what we're given to understand. But that is a significant development with what we're tracking at the moment. Let's quickly draw that into perspective. What Mukul Rohatgi has stated is that first, the allegation with what was leveled is a conspiracy to violate the FCPA. Let's also tell you that in a dramatic turn of events, Adani Green Energy has issued a strong clarification, what we just heard, asserting that Gautam Adani, his nephew Sagar Adani, and senior executive Vinny Jain are cleared of all bribery charges according to the US Department of Justice. In a filing to the stock exchange, AGEL firmly rejected reports circulating in the media calling them incorrect. Now, this comes after reports have suggested that key Adani executives were facing, remember, bribery and corruption charges under the US Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. The Adani Group stressed that while these executives are facing charges related to securities and wire fraud, there are no allegations of bribery or foreign corruption against them. The company clarified that the court's references are specific to individual charges in the legal indictment, not any broad allegations of bribery. Now, important to note here that this statement comes amidst growing scrutiny as the Adani Group looks to clear its name in the ongoing legal battles. But that's, of course, a significant development. I'm given to understand Advocate Srinivas joins me on the broadcast. All right, we'll try going across to Srinivas, but before that, I'm given to understand Mr. Ramesh is also with us, continues to stay with us, in fact. All right, we'll try going across to PR Ramesh as well, but that is the latest in terms of the fact that what's been stated here. We'll continue to track that development as well. But for now, Slippy, quick